from the expansiveness of universal consciousness. Allow this transmission to be brought forward to you. For as you sit here in the physicality of your humanness, you are only restricted by the physicality. You're only restricted by this physicality upon this physical planet. But the ever-expanding universe of consciousness is a constant. It is constantly expanding in front of you, no matter what you do, no matter what you think, no matter where you go, no matter what you eat, no matter what you do. Universal consciousness is ever expanding in front of you. For many of you, you have an understanding of this process of closing out this year that you exist in, but yet opening the door to a new existence, a new year that sits in front of you. Again, this is a physical construct, a physical understanding, a physical restriction. You wish to manifest for the new year. You wish to manifest for a new existence. You wish to manifest many things in your life. But you put a construct around it as it must pertain to what is to come, what is to be laid before you, as if it is something that is physical in nature. For what you wish to manifest is already manifested for you. It already exists in front of you. It is all part of the universal consciousness that is expanding in front of you. For everything that you wish to manifest is present in your life. It exists, but within a frequency stream, a vibrational construct that you are unaware of. So it is not to bound it to a physical presence of a physical year in your life cycle, but it is to give it the breath of the expansiveness, the infinity that lies before you. For when you place it within a construct, when you place it within this framework of your physical year, you are limiting yourself. You are not limiting the manifesting process, but you are limiting yourself. So begin this process of re-envisioning this universal consciousness that lies before you, that is expanding in front of you. Reimagine it without a construct. Reimagine it without a framework. Reimagine it as an infinite point before you. And no matter what it is that you wish to manifest, it is there in front of you. And now it is for you to vibrationally align with each of those things that you wish to manifest. Those requests that you send out to the universe in front of you. Those things you wish to manifest that you place into physicality in front of you. You script them on a piece of paper. You put them before yourself. It is for you now to understand each of their vibrations. What vibration point will bring it to you? What alignment point will bring it before you? For if it already exists, it must then be visioned. It must be seen. It must be presented before you. And the only way to do that is to align your vibration with its frequency. And it will come into focus. It will be placed upon your hands. It will be brought into your framework. So do not limit yourself by your physicality. Do not allow your physicality to limit where you go and what you do, what you think and what you eat, what you breathe. This is just the limiting factor of the physical being. For many of you, you understand the expansiveness that is before you. You understand the ever-present universal consciousness that is ever expanding in front of you. And many of you are unrestricted in your movement. But many look upon the physical body as being hindered, wishing to do more, wishing to go further, wishing to expand beyond its limits. For you are here to experience this existence, yes. But you are here to understand. You are here to remember. You are here to be present and to align all resources that you've brought into this existence. So it is now this period that lies before you. The questions that you may have, the understanding of what lies before you. It's a matter of aligning the frequencies, not the thoughts, not the physicality, but the universal consciousness and its frequencies that lay before you. It is for you to align yourself with this. As you do, the visions in front of you become clear. The knowing that eluded you becomes present. The truths that you wish to speak, the truths that you wish to hear, are laid before you. So allow yourself this time to breathe in this experience. Allow yourself this time to understand that at an infinite point in front of you of universal consciousness always has existed. It is always present. It is always with you. Do not restrict it. Do not allow your physicality to say it is unachievable to reach that far out into the abyss. Place what you wish to manifest in front of you. Speak it aloud. Imagine it. Place it there in front of you and begin to align to it. And it will be presented to you through vibration, through breath, through consciousness. If there are those that have questions, you may ask.
Thank you so much for your presence this evening. We just passed the solstice, and the energies, in my understanding, were intense for our continued evolution. What do we need to know about the integration of those?
For your physical presence is here to endure. Your physical presence is here to change. It is to allow and synchronize with these vibrations, these frequencies, these energy waves that are transmitted through you as well as your planet. You are here to allow that to take place. For you must understand that your presence here upon the planet has been elected by you. And you understand that, but you must look at it much differently. Do not place yourself into a time past, for the alignments were much different. For the physicality that agreed to come in during the past periods, they were there to align differently. They were there to progress the energy process a bit further. And each cycle of existence moved it a bit further. All the meanwhile preparing it for your arrival. For those that are upon the planets now, those human forms that are upon the planet now, you all have agreed. You all have agreed to consciously come together into existence during this time period. Yes, you have been told that you are the strongest of those that have wished to be here. But it is greater than that. For this consciousness that is growing, you are part of the universal consciousness. You are expanding the universal consciousness. In all things that you do, even though you do not have an awareness of what you are doing. For that is the human construct that is restricting you. But your vibrational construct is doing exactly what it is to do. It is progressing the universal consciousness. It is ever expanding it greater and greater beyond its bounds. So every individual piece is that sum of a greater consciousness. So yes, you are going to endure physicalities, but it is to align with them. Do not give them more existence than is needed. Do not sit with the physical aspects, the physical attributes that are being presented, and allow them to debilitate you. But acknowledge them and embrace them and thank them and give them just enough understanding so that you can move forward with your expansion. They are going to continue to present themselves differently. Each cycle of energy that is brought to your planet is going to be amplified just a bit greater each cycle. So you are expanding energetically, but you are also expanding physically. For each one of those waves of energy is physically changing the human form. Just as you have an understanding of your physicality as a human and how it receives nutrition, you must begin to look at the physicality, the human form itself, as feeding on this energy. As it feeds on the energy, it is growing the crystalline structures greater and greater within the human form. This is for the next evolution. So allow that energy and consume the energy. Receive it in. It will be difficult, but allow it to settle. Allow it to give you the knowledge that you are seeking. Allow it to change you physically.
Thank you for that. I have a question that I think a lot of people struggle with, and I'm curious how you would help us to reconcile this. But if we as humans rely upon things like a cell phone or a hybrid car or something that is gained because others, like children, are sacrificed in slave labor or in dangerous circumstances, mining minerals from a cave that collapses, for example. Unless we go off into the wilderness and live on our own, we're going to have to be able to reconcile those atrocities in our brain. And for those of us who are empathetic and loving and conscious and aware, how can we reconcile those things as we move forward?
Allow yourself to be placed in a point to receive understanding. For you see, your planet itself is here to have a point of challenge. Meaning, there will be challenges along its path that they will not agree with. But it is for that individual that does not agree with the challenges to find resolution in themselves. For if you look back during your history, you understand moments in time where there has been atrocities to humans. Those individuals that have placed themselves into those situations did not do so by somebody else's means, though that is what your history will show. They have elected to place themselves into that atrocity so that it can then be broadcast to others, so that others can see and reconcile within themselves what took place. They put themselves into that situation to show an outcome of positivity. It may take time, but that is what you are here for. For time exists here. History exists here. So in this example of children, and how it aligns with your consumerism, one must understand the alignments that are in place. For it is not that the children and those that are afflicted have been placed there by anybody other than themselves. It is to draw attention to a greater understanding, a greater incident within your history timeline. But how, as you then not there to assist, how do you then align yourself with your existence for the things that you must use and utilize and consume for your humanness? It is to understand where you align with it. If it is so that you choose that you do not wish to use or utilize anything that is produced from that outcome, then so be it. If it is that you will continue on with your existence, then so be it. But allow yourself a depth of understanding. Allow yourself a depth of reconciliation. An expansive understanding of why those individuals place themselves within a certain circumstance. And then begin to align and understand how it will be seen over time. For what you are seeing now is just one small segment. It is what you will understand in time in the future of what has taken place and no longer then takes place. So this is a difficult understanding for the human existence upon this planet. For there have been atrocities, and there will continue to be atrocities. This is the learning aspect. This is the teaching aspect. This is the aspect of the human understanding here upon this planet. It is not a planet for one comes to pull themselves away from other existences. You come here to understand. You come here to go through the turmoil. You come here to go through the challenges. You come here to have an understanding of a greater consciousness, a greater understanding of humanness. It is how you find peace in one's existence when there are atrocities to others. Whether that is at a great scale as you have described, or whether it is just a small understanding with one individual that stands in front of you at a store, in a line, on the street. There is no difference between that individual that is homeless on the street and the large number of individuals that have been afflicted by this action. Go back in time, there's no difference between this individual that is homeless on the street and all that took place during the wars in your past. They are still afflicted. But it is where you reconcile within, vibrationally, and how you then move forward in your existence. There is not one true answer. There is not one to say, it is this how you shall think. For that is why the humans are here upon this planet. You are here to reconcile here and reconcile here. You can allow your expansiveness, your energetic field, your heart, your love, your compassion to envelop all of those, to send that forward into all circumstances. And you are doing your part. But from the humanness, the physicality, it will seem as if it is doing nothing because it is too great to overcome. But what you must align with is the understanding that your expansiveness, your heartfelt expansiveness, your empathy is felt, is received, it is aligned. Though you may not see the outcome, you are doing what you are to do. You are doing all that you can do. But as a collective consciousness grows, a greater awareness begins to arise. A greater voice becomes loud. The greater voice provides action. The action provides change. Look back throughout history of your planet, you see the change that has taken place because of those actions that led to change. No matter how it achieved the change, it achieved change throughout time. So you are at the beginning stages of this understanding of this process. So understand that it is going to take a greater consciousness and a greater awareness, a greater movement of change.
Thank you very much for helping us with that difficult topic. And as you alluded to, I think a lot more of those atrocities are going to be disclosed in the near future. So I feel that many of us on the leading edge of awareness and awakening need to get a handle on this so that we can help others with that. Is that correct?
This is correct. For you are here for that change. You are the warriors that have been called forward. You have agreed to be placed here now. You've agreed to be placed in this time of change. You are not alone in your activities. You are not alone in your response to this call. You are not alone in your awareness. And what it means to be not alone in your awareness is, yes, there are multitudes of humans that are becoming aware, but it is not that. You are not alone in spirit. You are not alone in those that guide you. You are not alone in those that surround you and fulfill you. Call upon those beings, call upon the consciousness, call upon all those that are around you. For the balance is shifting in each and every one of you of this awareness pattern, this awareness alignment, this awareness acknowledgement. Each one of you are becoming more and more aware of those that surround you. It is now time to align yourself with them. To grow in relationship with them and speak the truth to them. And they will begin to answer.
Beautiful, thank you.
What can I do to, you might have already answered this, but what can I do to further activate my light body?
For you are not alone with this question. There are many that are equally questioning this alignment with a light body. For it has been said, as you continue to align with the energies that are coming upon your planet, they are changing the crystalline structure within. As this crystalline structure aligns and grows, the presence of the light body grows strong within. Resonating as if an instrument has been struck. For the physicality of the humanness can never fully achieve a full light embodiment. It is not designed structurally to contain that amount of frequency, that amount of vibration. But what can you do to further it? To allow it to continue to grow to its maximum. And breathe into the vibration and breathe out through the vibration. Allow yourself to vibrate uncontrollably for periods of time. And allowing it to settle with each one of your cells and each one of your fibers and each piece of your DNA. It will be uncomfortable at first. It will be very disorientating at first because the human body is beginning to align. But the more you breathe in through the light and breathe out through the light, the more it will become settled. The more you allow it to physically vibrate uncontrollably throughout the body, the more it will begin to settle. For the vibrational patterns must all resonate within the same frequency field for it to settle within the human form. As you do this, allow yourself consciously to expand into the light with the breath and expand out from the light with the breath. Allow yourself to envision yourself as a light body. Envision yourself as one crystalline structure emitting an intense vibrational field of light around you, allowing it to emit all things around you and illuminate the space in front of you. Envision that through your mental aspect. And as you do, you will become embodied into that next layer of embodiment of light body. But also have the awareness and the understanding that the physicality is not designed for a full embodiment. But you will increase the level at which you vibrate towards this light body.
Thank you for that.
I have a question about our physical bodies, and it's about the nutrition we provide through food or supplements, and how can we tune in better to what our body needs? Because I understand what a teenager needs is very different than an old person, or what we need in summer is very different than what we need in winter. And there are so many diets right now, from carnivore to fruitarians, but I would like to know how we can tune in to whatever our body needs at a certain time.
Each physical body is different from each other physical body. For yours might be dependent upon the cycles of your sun throughout its course during a year. And it may need more fresh at one point or more stored at another. It is not about what types of food to eat, of what types to drink in, but it is to understand the cycle of the human body first and foremost. What is that cycle? There are periods that the body itself needs more rest or more awake, needs more of the sun, needs more of the darkness, it needs more water, needs more dry. It is to learn the cycles of the physical body, the vibrational cycles. Then once you understand the cycles of the physical body, that in turn then allows you to understand what it needs during those cycles. Do not allow yourself to fall into the understandings of what someone else portrays to you of what you need based upon what they believe that their cycle is. They may need something completely different during that period of time than that you do. But do not allow yourself to align with someone else's cycle of nutrition, someone else's cycle of requirements. It is not to be said that you eat this at this particular time of the day and eat that at this particular time of the day, or this time of the calendar year or that time of the calendar year. To eat more of the orange or eat more of the green and eat more of the red. But once you understand the full cycle of the human itself, how it breathes, how it resonates, how it vibrates to all actions around you, then you begin the conversation of what it needs. Then by placing your hands upon what you wish to consume, allow that vibration to run through you. Just a mere finger placed upon it, placed in it. For you are sensing what is required. It will tell you whether it is acceptable or not at that particular period, how much of it is required at that particular period, whether it must be fresh or whether it must be cooked, whether it must be presented a certain way. Your hands are your communication tools. Your hands are those devices that will tell you what, when, and how much. For you do not give your hands enough credit for what they can tell you. Many of you understand a handshake. You place your hand against another, and instantly you understand something about that individual. Why is it that when you place your hands against a piece of food that you do not receive the same information? For that is not how you have been instructed. That is not how you have been formulated. That is not how you have aligned yourself. But begin, as it has said in the beginning, to break away the framework in which you exist, removing the constructs that have been placed around you and in front of you. For the universal consciousness that is ever expanding in front of you is you. And when you begin to understand the communication that you can gain from your hands, you will understand much more about yourself. Just a mere finger upon what you wish to eat. Align yourself vibrationally to it. Begin to receive the information for yourself. Understand and begin to recognize the patterns that lay before you of your own cycles. That is the greatest understanding. It is not what somebody else has told you to do. It is what self will tell you to do.
Awesome, thank you.
Yeah, I would like to ask how Zach and I are connected, and I have a two-part question. So I'm being told that it's like past life and close connection, but I would like to know how we're connected in this life or just in general. And then I also would like to know, last time we talked, I was like implanted with an energy, and I would just like to know how that happens between us. And then I would also like to know, like, what they told me to go to Allison about it, and like if that's like gonna work out, or if there's more that we need to do or I need to do about that.
So Alicia and Zach, their connection.
To understand the alignment between the two individuals, one must look back a period of time. There is a brother-sister relationship that has been formulated throughout time. This existence of brother-sister relationship has formulated throughout many life periods and many lifetimes. This experience has led themselves into certain actions between two warring aspects. They have both become great warriors within these domains, and they have experienced many battles amongst each other as well as with each other, but yet universally they are aligned, brother-sister. This energy now carries forward into this life experience as both very energetically aligned as brother-sister connection points. This aspect of a implant, an energetic entry point, and your understanding how this is activated. One must understand the electrical system and the chakra and the input systems of the physical body itself. It is not just one entry point, but there are multiple energetic entry points once they are allowed to be opened. During any sort of energetic alignment connection points, there are openings that are placed into the open position, not necessarily in an aspect to be vulnerable, but one to receive energetic information that is not otherwise accessible. You must understand, when you enter into the reception point, yes, you are allowing yourself to receive energetic information, energetic reception, but in that, your energy systems themselves are also opening. Just as gills in a fish open to receive oxygen, you open these energetic ports to receive other information that is at a greater depth, a greater understanding, a greater alignment. So allowing yourself to receive this type of information, this information is then embedded, lays dormant until it is necessary to be revealed for your progression forward. So it is now in a dormant state. It is processing at a particular point in the future at which you are then aligned, it will then reveal itself appropriately for your growth and your alignment.
Thanks.
Perfect, thank you.
I have a question regarding spaces. So we just moved into a house and the energy feels a bit off. And my question is, how can we best clear a space, and that space being even a hotel room in which we sleep a night or two?
The process of aligning one's energetic space and allowing it to be a comfortable space, one allowing it to open and depart stagnant, stale, old, residual energy from it, and allowing it then to be closed off, is one that is quite simple. It is a matter of understanding your physical process. One is to designate a physical location within that space, whether it is multiple spaces or just one. Designate one spot, one location within that space as the point of openness. Allow this then to become a vortex in that particular point. If you wish, you can place a crystal in that location to help amplify any of the energies that are associated with this vortex. Allow the vortex to begin to spin counterclockwise, rising up to the ceiling point and exiting the ceiling point. Once you visualize it exiting the ceiling point, you know that it is now capable of eliminating any of the old residual or stagnant, unwanted energies within that space. Now envision yourself, just as you do through a clearing process of sweeping from corner to corner towards that vortex, allowing it all then to be swept up into that vortex, exited out, and carried beyond your space. Once that portal or that vortex is open, it is taking it out into the universal consciousness for it to be received and transmuted. So allow yourself to have that vision of moving it towards that vortex and being exited from that space. You can do that individually for each individual room or one central location, so it all can be swept to one central point. Then once you feel the exiting of that energy, you feel that the upliftment in that room has been brought back into it. And then allow that vortex to be called back into that space, then down into the point of origin to dissipate.
Very helpful, thank you for that. Samantha, do you want to unmute and ask your question?
Oh, yeah. Hi. Okay, so I'm trying to understand a little bit more about my ability to channel light language. And what I'm wondering is is there anything else I need to know to enhance it, or am I already doing everything that I'm meant to be doing with it? Any advice?
The greatest information to impart into your understanding of this expression of light language, of vibrational formation into a language in which you speak, is this. Allow yourself to physically and totally surrender to the experience. Do not allow the humanness to be imparted into any aspect of what you are doing. Allow your humanness to be set aside just for that moment. Allow yourself to fully surrender energetically into that space. And allow that energy to vibrate at its highest frequency through your voice. No matter what is produced, it is of the highest, purest form. So it is once you allow your humanness to fully surrender to the experience, without any consciousness, human consciousness infiltrating in, it will be at its highest vibrational point.
That's lovely, thank you.
Chris?
Yes. I still see Samantha, but I have a question. This is Kirk. Last weekend, my friend Donna was staying with me, and she saw a male spirit, what she called a male spirit, on my staircase. She said that she didn't feel that it was malevolent, but rather protective. And I wanted to know who that spirit was and the reason the spirit is in my house.
For this presence that stood before you upon this location is this Odin is represented in that space. Odin came to you in physicality, came into that space in physicality. The presence of both of the energies that you presented, you and the other individual, those combined energies called forward this individual, this being, Odin, to be present, just to show, just to present, just to represent in physicality so that you are aware that he is present with you, that he is present in your existence. Though you have sensed the presence, this is the formulation of energy amplified to a point at which it is then in physicality.
Thank you for that.
Yes, thank you.
Can you please let Ben know who his primary galactic alignment is in his original source cluster, please?
Sirian is the closest alignment. And Pleiades is the source cluster.
Wonderful, thank you. And can you tell Jill as well who her closest alignment is and her original source point?
Lyran is the closest alignment. Sirian is the source point.
Beautiful, thank you.
I have a question about my dog. She has, on Christmas Eve, had a terrible episode in our home, and I'm worried that she's trying to tell me it's time to transition, and I'm not getting it. And then when you spoke about the vortices, space clearing, I thought that might be helpful for what's causing her episodes. I just wanted some input or advice on how to support her.
The process of clearing is most useful. Allow yourself to open these vortexes to allow residual energies to be pulled from those spaces. Though they are not doing harm, it is just an overabundance of residual energies that have accumulated over time. As far as this point of questioning the transition aspect, though that is not being seen, the alignment must be further gained. As you clear the residual energies that are within the space, spend time in communication, verbal and silent communication, allowing yourself to be within contact. You will understand then the process by which by which the channels of information will be open. For your dog is communicating to you. The transition point is not seen in front, but it is in the future, yes, but it is not at close range. But it is a point of communication that your dog is trying to communicate with you at a higher level, to begin to express to you his aspect of expression, so that once this point comes in time, it will be much easier for you to understand, for his assistance.
Thank you for that.
I have a quick question, please. A close friend and I had strikingly similar dreams last night. Although the symbolism is rather unclear for both of us, I was wondering if you had any insight into the meaning of those, please.
For the vibrational alignments between two dream aspects, between two individuals. This is formulating for many individuals that are aligning with one another's dreams. In this particular case, it is this process of change, this process of moving beyond. There is a this point of challenge needs to be acquired, in which the progress moving forward can be laid out and understood. But the challenge itself that lies before you is this one that is a bit in the physicality, a bit monumentous. It doesn't want to move forward, is too great to overcome. It is presented in front of you in a way in which it is difficult. But this is in the dream state. For in the dream state, much is going to be exaggerated, much is going to be presented to you in a way in which it is going to be difficult to overcome. But in the physical state, it represents itself as each one of you having a very similar point of challenge that lies before you. But unlike in the dream, the challenge that's going to lie before you is quite small. But it's going to take equal amount of alignment. Both of you are going to assist each other over this challenge. It is a growth point between two individuals. The challenges are going to be individual, but the challenge between the two is going to be a growth point. Once you are over this growth point, then there's a period in which there's going to be a greater understanding and depth of one another that will then propel you a bit further in understanding. There are challenges from the sides that are going to push inward. And there is this pressure. This is the pressure within the dream. This is the pressure within the humanness. There's going to be pressures from the side that are going to make it difficult to, once you are over this challenge, it is going to be difficult to try to move forward, but the strength that was gained from the challenge will help eliminate the side pressure. So understand that, yes, there is an alignment vibrationally between the two of you, that this challenge individually is going to present itself, but yet in your own understandings, you are both going to go past this challenge and align much better with a greater understanding in front of you.
Thank you for that. Is there a reason so many of us are having so many and so vivid dreams, especially with, well, sometimes nightmares, and people that are not in our circle that we haven't seen in a long time are popping into these dreams? It's happening a lot more frequently.
When you are in the dream state and you are aligning to those that are not necessarily within your vibrational circle, you are actually in the state in which which you are assisting dream state to dream state. You are assisting those that are not within your circle. You are helping their progress forward. You are changing their vibrational state. You are doing the work you are called to do. They are not recognizing it, but yet you are recognizing them. So this is the alignment process. But for those that have dreams that are very similar in nature, multiple individuals that align in the dream state, and this is because the vibrational consciousness level is growing stronger and stronger. Once you are beyond this particular point, the dream state and your conscious state will seem very, very similar.
Why so many nightmares? Are we clearing things?
The work that is being done on a much higher level, and to you in your physicality, it will be associated with a nightmare, a night terror, a night disturbance. This is the process of clearing. This is the process of doing the work that is necessary.
Wonderful, thank you.
Allison,
Do you have another question?
just to follow up real quick. You had said that the mine and Donna's energies together brought forth Odin in a physical form for us to see. What is the connection between Donna and me as far as our energies, past lifetimes, etc.?
It has always been a parent-sibling relationship, a parent and child relationship, parent-child relationship throughout time, over and over. In this particular time period, you are taking on the role of the parent. Donna is taking on the role of the child. You are providing the guidance that is necessary for growth. She is now coming into awareness. It is this change of presence. Though it has been present with her, it is a greater level of expansion, a greater level of awareness. And it is this alignment to begin to see what is in front of you. As the two are combined in strength, much is going to be presented in physicality in front of you.
Beautiful, thank you. Final question?
Yes, so for the next, I've been traveling for work, so I guess my question is about what is in my highest alignment currently for my traveling, and basically which direction am I heading with my physical location on this planet, and how to handle those changes of all that movement.
For it is not necessary to focus on where you are to land, but it is necessary to focus on what you will be doing once you land, once you transition to this new location. For there has been much growth that has taken place up to this point. There's been much strengthening that has been taking place up to this point. There's been much clarity and awareness that has taken place up to this point. For what you carry into this next location will be utilized. For you will be assimilating differently. For those individuals that you will be gathering with, you'll be imparting information in a much different way. Your knowledge and your teachings will come across much clearer, but in words that they will align with. Not in words in which you can speak alignment here amongst those that you understand and align with here. but the words and the truth and the vibration that you speak will be heard much more clearly. The resonance in your voice, the tone, the carrying of each word will be very precise and very aligned. So allow yourself not to worry about where, but once you land, how you will assimilate with those that are around you.
Very helpful, thank you. Is there a parting message before we close, please?
Allow yourself to breathe in this consciousness. Allow yourself to vibrate into this universal consciousness. For it is all around you, it is everything, it is all aspects. For each breath that you take in is universal consciousness. It holds all of the information you seek. It holds the expansiveness that you wish to achieve. It holds what you wish to manifest. So allow yourself this time that lies before you to breathe into this consciousness. Breathing in the vibration of universal consciousness and allowing it to resonate through you. Allow yourself to expand into this consciousness. Stripping away the constructs, the barriers that hold you, that restrict you, that keep you in the humanness. You still have to remain a human upon this planet. That's what you have chosen. But there is nothing that has kept you from expanding. And by stripping away the barriers, stripping away the constructs, you can expand as you choose, as freely as you want.
Beautiful. Thank you so very much for your presence this evening.